longest round the block we've ever had in my life.
Still here.
There it is. Random.
Yeah, I think so. I think it is. I think this is it.
Is that Cocker alright that got injured before? That
No
was
idea, to
horrible.
be fair,
That was horrible. Hope he's alright anyway, mate.
Are you going in?
No, I'm just
Right, well,
observing,
move away
mate.
from here then, please. Move back out there if you're not going in.
Just watching, just videoing. Alright. I'd have a read of Easy Meat first before you say that.
Huh?
I'd read Easy Meat by Peter McLaughlin and see why they're actually doing it.
Not everybody that's Muslim.
82%. I mean, I'm no part of. No, of course it is. That's from Quilliam's, which is Quilliam is a Muslim run thing, and that's suppressed statistics, and that's still 82%. You can't argue with the statistics. How? Why is it? Read Easy Meat.
How are you going to question every single Muslim that's in the UK?
No, it's not.
Determine whether they're a leader?
Can all black people jump? They can't, can they? Not all of anybody do anything, surely. Do they? But if you read Easy Meat, honestly, it tells you what the victim said, what the rapist said, and they've all said, all of them, out of all the 1,400 girls that was raped in Rotherham, they've all said the same thing. They're justified in Islam, and I've done some research myself, and it is justified 14 times in their Islamic scriptures. You don't have to believe me, but I've done the research, I've read it. You can.
So when you say 82% of Muslims paedophiles or whatever,
Yeah.
that's what, when you use 82%, you mean that all 100% of Muslims, every single Muslim in the world is accounted for?
No,
It's not. So
no,
you can't say
no.
that.
That's not what anyone's saying. We're saying of the people that have been caught and convicted, 82% of them are Muslim. That's fact. It's not up for discussion. It's fact. So once you've realised that that's fact, the next step logically would be to look into why they're doing it, the beliefs of what they're doing, and if you look into the beliefs and what they've said on police interview, they've all said the same thing. We're justified to do so. If you're taught from a baby that you're allowed to do a certain thing, you're not going to believe anyone else that tells you that because you've been told from a child, haven't you? So you've got to kind of look at it from their point and from the other side, haven't you? You've got to look at things from both sides. But
What I'm saying is you can't brand all Muslims.
no, not all of anybody do anything. There is some brilliant Muslims and some great Muslims.
Muslims up on the street, that's just branding the entire
But what we need is the good Muslims to come and stand and oppose the rapes and stuff like that. Come and stand at the
just abuse them straight
No,
away in
no,
the
they
streets.
don't.
Yes,
There's
they
been.
do.
I've
Trust me,
got
yes, they do.
I've got some great Muslim friends that come and oppose with these and
Yeah, but
whatever.
there are some people that will just abuse anybody just because of their skin colour.
Mate,
There are.
you're always going to get a bad view in any batch, aren't you? You can't keep everybody out of your group just because whatever. It's impossible, isn't it? Not everyone here will know each other, so they can't all be the same people. I mean, I'm here, but I've not got a racist bone in me. My family's Jamaican, my family's West Indian. I'm far from racist, but I believe in what they're saying is true because I've checked it out by the facts. That's all. If the facts suggest it, and then let's have someone bring. Let's at least have a discussion. Is it anything to do with Islam? Is it to do with the 14 things in Islamic scriptures which they all keep saying it is? I can't say because I'm not a Muslim, but I've been to this mosque after
do you think it's something to do with the religion or just the culture?
It's a trio of books. To be fair, it's the Quran, the surahs, which there's quite a lot of, and I can't even remember. This heat's killing me. But
does the Quran advocate that kind of stuff?
Yeah. 14 times. Honestly, it does. I'm not going to lie to you. I've got no reason to lie. Have you read the Quran?
I haven't read it myself.
Well, this is what I'm saying. It's people saying that it's definitely not, but they've not read it. I have read it. I've studied it for 8 years. I know it. You could ask.
It just doesn't come out.
You could take me to a mosque now, and I'll know far more than a Muslim about their own religion. It's sad that I have to do that, but
because a lot of people just don't read up on stuff. They just do what they're told.
no. But I mean, you've already made your mind up that it's nothing to do with it. Yet you've not read the book.
Yeah, but I have read most of the book. I haven't read all of the book, but I've read the majority of the book, and I've done I've studied it. I've done essays on it. I know what I'm talking about. I know the religion. I've got
So
people that
there's 109 verses that there's 109 verses that are hate against all non-Muslims. That's fact. 109 verses. No, it is. Hate's hate, isn't it?
There's nothing that preaches hate in it.
Don't you think this kind of stuff just fighting fire with fire?
It is. I think this group and the other group are being played off each other, and the lads here in between who've just been bottled is ridiculous. Was from that side, not from this side. I've not seen any violence from this side, but from Antifa, they've just bottled the copper. He's just gone off in a thing in an ambulance.
There's no violence, but it is provoking the other side.
It is, but I mean, I think we need to have an open discussion.
Is it free Tommy Robinson, this thing?
I think it's a bit of everything. Free Tommy Robinson and the grooming gangs that have been going on around the local area.
Do you support Tommy Robinson?
To a degree, I support everything he says. I've not just thought, all right, okay, that's fact. I'll go away and research anything that anyone says, so I know. I don't make my mind up because someone said so. I'll do my own research, and everything that he said up to now, to be fair, has been factual. So I don't know. It's one of them, isn't it?
What he does is he films himself, and he goes up to Muslims that on the street that are just going about their business or whatever, and he just starts with them and he provokes them and stuff, and he attacks their faith, and obviously they're gonna lash out. Like if someone attacked something that I believed in, I would lash out, and that's what he does. Like he comes and because he's good with his words, and he can get reactions out of people because he attacks the faith, he attacks everything that they believe in, every single fundamental belief that they believe in, he attacks. So they're gonna obviously respond with hostility. And then he steps back and goes, well, I'm not being violent, but he's the one inciting every single thing.
To a degree, yeah.
It's like you've got
to a degree, but I mean,
words are way more powerful. If you can spark reactions out of people.
I mean, I'm a Christian. You could ask me about anything in the Bible from years ago, and there's some barbaric stuff in there or whatever. I'll tell you that, and I'll admit it. That's fine. To me, you're not disgracing anything that I believe in or anything. It's just, it is what it is. But if we turn that same conversation to a Muslim, they'll be angry about it and whatnot. Where I don't see why.
Because there's so much of it, and a lot of it is just from racist people that don't know what they're talking about.
But if people from my church have been, say 29 people from my local church have been pulled in for a Muslim grooming scandal, I would have questions to ask my church myself, and they don't seem to want to do that. I don't get why. Do you know what I mean? If it was me and it was my people and my congregation that was being tarred, all the good ones should say, no, this is not anything to do with us,
But
and
they
then
do though,
oppose
but
it.
people just like
No,
shut them
honestly,
down
they
and don't
don't.
listen to them. I've seen like on like social media everywhere people like advertising for Islam, like the good of Islam and everything like that, and fighting for it, and a lot of other like,
Yeah, but they won't
Islamic people
oppose.
join in.
They won't oppose. I've been round all the Islamic groups and asked them, will you come out and oppose it?
Get violent. I know.
No,
in this
nobody's
partic-
been
in this-
violent
in this
over
partic-
it,
In
it
this
was over there.
particular case, it's not violent, but there have
The violence occurred from
far too
Antifa
much-
over there. They bottled the
far too
copper,
much
I've seen it.
violence. Yeah, if you extract today, just in general, there is far too much violence towards Islamic people because of their race.
No, I mean, there's reported hate crimes, but based on what?
Based on people getting acid thrown over them because of their skin
But that's
colour.
not white people throwing it on Muslims or anything like that, is it? That's honest stuff. That's because they've not worn the face veil or they've done something out of the
No, I mean,
religion
like,
or whatever. That's
like,
family on family. That's
racist
like
people do that.
your dad and your brother
No,
actually
I'm not
attacking
saying
you
that they do
because
it on
you
each
dressed
other, they
immorally
probably
or.
do, but also like white hate people do throw it on people like
No, there's 1,500 last year in London, and that was all honour-based crimes, family on family.
There are honour-based ones, but there are also just
But don't you-
racist ones.
Well, don't you disagree with that?
Yeah, I do.
What about FGM, where they cut clips off little girls and whatnot when they're babies because of the
Yeah,
Islamic
no, I don't
churches?
agree. I'm not saying I
This
agree
is
with it.
all half of these are against. I don't see the
Yeah,
problem
but
with
I
it
think
personally.
half of those people don't know what they're even there for.
But why are the women's rights groups not standing up for against FGM or anything like that? It's like everyone's too scared to point a problem out. I don't think it's right that we've got all these clinics popping up everywhere for this mass problem of FGM. I think it's disgusting that it's going on in our country.
Yeah.
We've got 101 Sharia courts, which we don't have no reason for. We've got our own courts and our own law. We don't need more. We don't need 100 and I think it was 102 on the last count. Sharia courts, what do we need them for? We've got our own laws, haven't we?
Yeah, I'm not saying that we need to change all that.
That's what I mean. So, but we're paying for it. We're paying for all this. It goes on, and in them Sharia courts comes the FGM and the forced marriages and all that stuff, and the child marriages. That I think, you know what I mean? Why would you not be against that? I don't get it.
I am against that.
So you should be in support
It's their
mode.
religion, and if it's not harming you,
But if it is harming you, in my town of Manchester, 22 kids was blown up because one Muslim who went in there and decided he was going to detonate himself. 22 children have died. Two of them families I know personally.
like branding the entire religion like that just because of one person, and it's usually just someone that's fucked up in the head.
But
No matter what religion they are.
Disbury Mosque, I went there shortly after because that's where the killer come from, and they wanted no part of nothing.
Like if all these like American shootings and stuff, if they say, "Oh, I'm doing this for Christianity," like people like it's just saying something. Like it's just that person is fucked up, and that's that.
If
It's
people
got
was
nothing to do
doing
with
this,
religion at all.
if people was blowing up children and raping children in the name of Christianity, I would be the first one to be at that church putting a stop to it, same as we'll do at a mosque or whatever. But they're not. The plain simple fact is, it's not.
Probably because if they do, then they'll just get attacked. So they're probably scared of just getting attacked because there have been so many cases.
We're the only people being attacked. We're the only people being attacked. There's been 29,000 attacks on us since 9/11. 29,000. I could tell you one where a white person drove over a Muslim outside the mosque and he got 41 years. A guy who's just been who's ran over 4 children and killed them all outright, he's got 13 years because he's a Muslim. Do you think that's fair? I don't. That's 41 years for one life, or 13 years for 4 lives. Where's the comparison there? You know what I mean?
So do Muslims commit rape and murder in the name of Islam?
Yeah.
What justification do they give for that?
They've got 14 different verses that they use. Whatever your right arm possesses, which basically means if you've plied them with mobile phones, drugs, alcohol, whatever. I mean, lots of. I don't know if you watch these paedophile hunter teams or whatever. A lot of them are catching a mixed variety of people. But the problem is with the Muslim grooming things, they're not doing it online. They're using chicken shops and kebab places and all that, where all the kids are coming in. And then they're giving them beer, they're giving them drugs, they're giving them whatever, and before you know it, they think, you know what I mean, they've been groomed, and then That's how it
Yeah, but
starts.
what specific sort of like passage do they use to justify rape, for example?
Whatever your right arm possesses.
That's so vague though. What do you mean?
It is.
By that?
It is. It's how.
It's all your
Whatever your
interpretation
right
of the Quran.
Yeah, but whatever your right arm possesses.
Whatever they decide to interpret it as. doesn't
It's
mean
basically whatever you can get your hand on, and it's yours. Is yours. You're allowed to. It tells you. I mean, if you've read the Quran, it says you're allowed to plough your woman. You're allowed to plough your woman.
Yeah, but there's
Sorry, mate. You can take whatever your right arm possesses. You can. If it's a slave, you can rape either way, whether they're married or not. There's loads of things in the Quran which people they're not proud of, but if they're not proud of it, then let's get rid of them verses. There's 109 verses which we need gone. Apart from that, Islam's not actually a bad religion.
Yeah, but don't you think there's passages in the Bible which advocate?
Yeah, they
stuff
are.
that's not
They are.
acceptable?
But we've
It
had a
just depends on
Reformation. We've got a new Bible
I think
now,
it's
haven't
more
we?
of a cultural thing, mate, to be honest.
We've got a new Bible now which hasn't got all that in it. You know, that's what they need to do, but they haven't, and you can't. They can't change their Bible, their Quran. They're not allowed by their own things. They're not allowed. It's already perfect. How can you improve on perfect? You can't. So they're not allowed to change it. We're stuck in a predicament where we've invited lots of people which have not got the same beliefs as us, and now it's coming to a boiling point where the police have been suppressing. You've got to think, all the statistics we're getting are suppressed. The police are covering these grooming gangs. Why is Tommy in prison now? He's in there because the BBC weren't there covering it, so he's had to cover it, and now he's in jail because that. You've got to ask yourself the simple question for going to the grooming gangs. It's when they've already been sent. They've already been found guilty, and they was just coming back for sentencing. So he was just literally showing them, look, this is what's going on, and they're turning up and whatever. And there's no remorse in them. If I'd raped a child and had been found guilty, I'd be so in shame or whatever. But there's no remorse in him whatsoever.
Is he being charged and sentenced, or is he just being held?
He's been given 13 months for reporting on child rapists. To me, that's a joke in
Do you know what
itself.
specific charges? Do you know?
They've pulled it back. I think it was a case that he'd done it previously, hadn't he? I think he'd been doing the same kind of thing. But it's why the BBC not doing it. Everybody pays their licence fee, but yet they're not covering the cases. If it was a footballer or Rolf Harris or Jimmy Savile, they'd be there covering it, no problem.
If they did though, they promote a lot of hate and people going out in the streets and
I think-
violence.
yeah.
And I think that's why they don't cover it, because it's to stop.
But you can't just.
Innocent people getting hurt.
But if you keep lying to people and telling them it's not Islam and it's not whatever, then you're not teaching your kids the right thing at the end of the day.
I don't think it is Islam, I think it's the culture.
Well, are they not hand in hand?
Yeah.
Well, they're both. Well,
No, because if it's like modern day Christians, some modern day Christians still believe in the Old Testament, some modern day Christians still believe in the New Testament.
Yeah.
Some modern day Christians believe in a combination of both.
Yeah.
So you do have modern day Christians that do believe in the Old Testament. They don't act on what the Old Testament teaches because they know culturally and morally that it's wrong.
yeah, I agree with you, 100%.
That's what I mean when I say it's cultural. I think in their culture it's more, I don't know, it's more acceptable. Maybe not in this country, but in the Middle East it is.
What would you see as the answer? What do you see as the answer? I just think tell people the truth, 100%.
I think this is wrong. I think it's radicalising violence on both sides. It's fighting fire with fire.
Yeah.
It's just promoting extremism on this side as well as the other.
Yeah,
And I know there are instances of extremism on the Muslim side, but they are extremisms on both sides. And it shouldn't be a matter of, oh well, Muslims have committed 600 acts of terrorism in the past 6 months, and I don't know, Christians have committed like 400 acts of terrorism, so there's a 200 like difference. So that means that the Muslims are in the wrong when you shouldn't look at it like that. You shouldn't look at it like that. The thing with Tommy Robinson, I'm a law student, it sounds like he would have been charged with conspiracy to incite violence. That's what it is. And him going out and filming Muslims is not. He doesn't have the right to do that. He's not in a position of authority, and he is conspiring to incite violence, and that's why he's being locked away, because it's dangerous. I think it's right that it's away.
But why? I mean, you got to think why the BBC not doing it. It's not Tommy's job. Tommy's just a bloke like me or you. He's a builder at the end of the day. Before the police.
That's the thing. It's not his job.
It's not his job.
If he really wanted
it's
to get
not his
involved with
job.
it, he'd go to uni, he'd go to school and get the qualifications and get in that position of authority where he can actually make change. But going on the streets...
No, but he's a reporter now, isn't he? So technically it is his job. Isn't it? He's a reporter, he's a fully bona fide reporter, yeah. That's what I mean, so technically it is his job. But he wouldn't be doing that, he'd be building houses and whatnot if the normal press would cover it, but they're blatantly not doing, are they? You could look at case after case after case and they're never there, the media's never there, that's the problem.
There's a difference between reporting news and then being biased and inciting and driving people to do certain things, and that's the difference between him and reporters. Reporters report the news, he doesn't report the news, he incites it, he uses his words to radicalise people, to provoke people. And the end result is violence, and he just sort of steps back and says, well, I haven't done a positive action, I haven't actually done anything, but he's not reporting the news as it is. That's what reporters do. They look at something.
Well, he's just reporting the convictions. I mean, once it's been done.
Yeah, but if you watch his videos though, he's videoing Muslims, he's going up to Muslims, he's provoking people, he does it all the time. Being on his Facebook page, there's videos after videos of his Facebook live feeds, just walking up to people and just starting arguments and provoking people. Like, he's not helping at all. So, and it does sound like he will have been charged with conspiracy to incite violence, and it doesn't matter whether you're a reporter or not, you can't conspire to incite violence, you can't. It's unlawful and he should be in prison, to be honest.
You need to absolutely hang a person by every word that they've said if you're going to say stuff like that though. I mean, has he incited violence? I don't see that he has. I see that he's just reported facts. If the BBC would have done the same thing... Yeah, but if the BBC would have done the same thing, would you say that he's racist, they're racist, or they're whatever, they're causing hate or whatever?
If he's a qualified reporter, shouldn't he be working for like a news outlet?
He was working for, what was it, Rebel Media?
Rebel Media.
But you're taking your facts from BBC though, so you can understand me laughing at where you get your facts from.
We really need to go. We need to go.
Cool, mate. Nice to meet you anyway. Take care, mate. Take care. Wow. Delusion runs deep.